Hey guys, it's so nice to be back with you. I took a little hiatus. But the truth was, you know, with the stay-at-home orders and stuff, Javi wasn't here, and I can't do this type of a video by myself. I've been doing live video at Facebook at the Peasy Boutiques Creative Group, and we've been doing that frequently. I learned how. I can do that myself. I learned how. I'm so excited. But I can't do produced video, so I need Javi for that, and she's back. We can have her back now, so she's been back, and so here we are. Today what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to make an easy peasy charm holder out of wire, heavy gauge wire, not thin gauge wire that's, you know, like 22, 24, even 20. This is going to be out of 18 or 16. And the reason for that is because it'll hold its shape better for you when you hang stuff from it. That's why. It's not hard. So I'm wearing one. I just finished this afternoon while I was watching a movie on, I don't know, Netflix or something. But anyway, and I put some bone beads and some starfish beads and some, because I've been loving beachy stuff lately, and I've been finding all kinds of really cool beachy stuff for the website. So I thought, well, I'll use this because this is me. I love bone beads and organic things and seashells and all that kind of thing. So come on over here, and I'll just show you how to do it. Okay. So I just want to show you kind of what I'm doing close up here. You know how I love my wonky wire. I am not a precise person with wire. I'm just very random. I like a tornado wrap. I like it just to be wonky and odd, and I've done well with that. You know, I've done the wonky bracelets and the little wonky beads and stuff, and it's worked out well for me, and it's fun, and I think it's good for other people who feel as I do, that they don't want to do the precise loops like Javi does. they
don't have to.
They just want to, you know, have fun with it and see what happens, and everything's random, and so it never comes out the same. But I'm okay with that. So anyway, this is the one that I made and I was wearing, and it has a little loop underneath here at the top, and I hung something for it, and then I have stuff hanging from the wire. I used 18 gauge on this. Normally though, I use 16. This is one I made a while ago that's 16. It has a tornado wrap on it and the little loop where you can hang something in the middle. And actually at the workshop next week, it's next week already, May 15th to 17th. We still have room too if you want to join us. We've got 44 people already, but it's 3 days of video, live video. And it's a month in the class so that you can share and do all kinds of stuff, you know. So it's a good deal. We're gonna have a good time. But anyway, we're gonna do this. But what we're gonna do with this in that class is we're gonna fill it with resin. So that's gonna be kind of unique. Today I'm not showing you how to do that. I'm just showing you how to make a charm holder. Everybody loves charm holder. At least I do. A lot of people do. They sell well also if you sell your jewelry that you make. So anyway, this one has a spiral. So I'm going to start you out, and I'm going to try to make one similar to this, but it's so random. I don't know. These are random too. I have a book. You might want to look for it. It's called, I don't know what it's called, but it's about wire wrapping techniques. And the author is Lori Irish, I think. You might find it at Amazon or something. Barnes & Noble online. Lori Irish. Where did I buy it? I think probably Barnes & Noble. It's a great book. It's a great book. It's a lot of wonky wraps. She does some stuff that's sort of precision too, but when I looked at that, I'm like, oh, I found a kindred spirit here. And I've been looking at it for a few ideas, but a lot of them, the ideas I already had. You know, but if you need ideas, you want to learn more about it, that's a good book to buy. I would recommend that highly. Being as how I don't have a book about it. All I have is this video. So anyway, but
hey, a video gives you like how many words?
I don't know, Javi, how many words a video gives you. I don't have my.
I just know the photo. I don't remember.
A picture gives you like 1,000 words. Yeah. So anyway, I don't have my flat noses down here, but we'll get along just fine. I'm using my wolf pliers again, which we're We're waiting on a shipment of those.
Wait, how long was the wire you need?
Oh, the wire is about a yard long. And that's when I wanted to thank Javi. You can tell I haven't done this for a while. Anyway, yeah, about a wire, about a yard. Because that way you have plenty to play with. I always use it all up. You don't have to worry if you're using copper wire. It's dirt cheap. If you're using sterling, yeah, you got to think about what you're doing. Also, if you're using gold fill, it's a lot more expensive, but copper wire's not, so go for it. And I'm sorry my hands look so bad, but you know, we're doing all this hand washing now, so you know what that does to you.
Yeah, you ruin your hands.
I put cream all over them. I still got...
My hands are
my
like
hands
so
don't look good. Anyway, I get at the end of it with my wolf. We've done this many times before together, and I'm just making a little loop, okay? And then I'm just going to keep going. It would be better if you had your flat nose wires, flat nose pliers for this. But being as how I don't, I can improvise. So I'm just taking it and turning it. I made the little loop, and I'm just grabbing hold of it. I've got the flat side down on this one because this one has a round side and a flat side. And I'm just turning it. Okay, so when I get to what looks to be about the right place, which I would say we're coming up on it, right here, about, then I'm going to break the neck,
Wait,
which...
you can't see it.
I'm sorry, I'm sorry I got off camera, guys, but I've got this big long piece of wire and I don't want to poke myself in the eye or hobby. Okay, so I have to remember you're watching. So now I'm going to break the neck, as they say, and turn it. Alrighty. And then from there, I'm going to get into my little mandrel set. I love this thing. I use it all the time. We carry it at the site. I'm going to use a 7/8 one. And I use it all the time. We carry it at the site. It's dirt cheap, and it's a good investment. So now I'm going to take my little swirly thing, and I'm going to start going around a couple of times.
So you're pretty much holding the swirl on the top and just
because I want it to be part of the design. You see, it's part of the design here at the top. And then I just kind of tornado wrap the rest. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, and you have to use your fingers a lot when you do this kind. This is making, I probably should have used a bigger dowel, but this one is going to be kind of small. I kind of like the petite ones. You can still put a lot of stuff on them. So I'm going to go around. I'm going to go around one more time. I'd like to have 3. Thanks, Javi, for holding that so it doesn't get in your face.
I know what you mean.
Okay, so I really didn't need to break the neck on. I don't know why I did, but anyhow. So I've gone around 3 times. I have 3 loops of this, and I'm trying to hold it tight in my fingers. And now I'm going to go down, and this is 18 gauge wire, and so it's stiffer. So it's a little bit harder to manipulate, but it's not bad. So now I'm going to go down under that and make a loop so it kind of holds it together-ish. Okay. So I've got that going on. I'm going to hold this way so I can try to remember what I did. Now here's where it gets really random. I won't kid you. So now I want to get under here. I want to make a loop. And I want to get under here, the spiral again. And push up. Okay, so now I have a top hanging loop, kind of, sort of, a start to it. Now I could have gone up and you know, done the typical type and, you know, wrapped it down, but I want to try it this way this time. So I'm going to go around that again. And once again, the reason why this is, you know, a little bit unwieldy is because I'm using heavy gauge wire. If you don't want to use heavy gauge wire, then use 20 or 22, but don't go any higher than that because it won't be strong enough. Not in my opinion. Your charm holder will become misshapen. You don't want to do that. So okay, now I've got my loop for the top to hang it. So now, what am I going to do? Well, now this is where you really don't want to have people around and get this in their face. I'm going to start weaving it a little bit. Back, if you can call it that. This is where you get your tornado wrap type thing. Now see, I've got this coming up too high, so that's not going to look good. So now I've got to weave under it a little bit. And I'm going to have to pull this up, or I will lose my hanging hole. So that won't be good. And once again, guys, once you start playing with this, you're going to find your own way to do it. Every time I do this, I do it different. No kidding. Javi's over there shaking her head. Yeah, she really does.
Each one is different on
yeah,
its own.
but that's what's cool about it, because especially like I used all these organic pieces, you know, the bone beads and the little howlite stars and stuff, and no two of them are alike either. I love a beautiful organic look. So now I'm just kind of wrapping around here, and then what this will do, I'll just have to bend it down when I'm done. This will give me a place to hang underneath too. So I've got one up top and I've got one at the bottom. Press this back. We're getting there, guys, already. Just about have one made. And there are much easier ways too to do it. And I'll kind of point them out on these other pieces that I made. I mean, you can wrap it tighter if you like. I think I'm gonna kind of weave this a little bit more. And go through here, if I can get it to go through. Yeah, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. I like these wools because of that. They have little grooves, and you can grab hold of stuff, you know. So it makes it good. All right, there I go. There I go. Now I kind of lost my little. Well, I have hanging places here, but they're not as distinct. They look more like, I mean, I could use them for hanging places, but they look kind of like, more like, you know, just part of the wrap. So I'm going to do something to make that a little more distinct. Where I came through here on the back and I wrapped it, I'm going to pull this down. And I'm going to see okay, I'm going to cut part of this off about here for now. I don't cut too much. And then I'm going to pull this up through. Let's see if I need my... Okay. And it's about in the middle, but I can straighten that out. And I will take it and just again get at the very end. And start turning it. But this time, I'm just going to make it more like a coil and go straight up. Sounds like John came home from work upstairs. Okay, so now I have that. And I have a hanging place. Now, you might want to wrap your pliers for stuff like that, because I can see where this kind of bit into it. It doesn't really bother me because it's wonky wrap. You know, it can be like that. But if you're doing, you know, a little bit more precise work, or if you would be using sterling wire, it will really mark because sterling's so soft. But anyway, I've got a place in the middle that I can hang stuff if I want to. And I wouldn't have to have that if I didn't want to have it, but I just kind of like that. And I'll have to straighten it out before I start hanging stuff because it'll go crookedy and it won't look right. But that's about right. Okay, so now what do I do about this? How am I going to hang through up here? Well, I'm going to kind of try to mesh my pieces together. I could take a piece of like 24, 26 gauge and rewrap it very tight like a coil around there. That's a cool look too. I could do that. I don't have any down here, but maybe I'll try some of those, and I can, if you're in the creative group, you can come over, because on Sunday we've been working on a mermaid necklace together, and I could show you what I got done on this if you want. You should come over and see the mermaid. We're just doing shells galore. It's so much fun. Shells and bling. So much fun, yeah. I've been trying to do my lives on Sunday afternoon, not Sunday afternoon, 7 o'clock in the evening, EST, Ohio time. And we all get on there live and have a really great time. It's at the creative group, Facebook. Okay, so this is basically it. So how will I hang through there? Well, I just need to have, I should really have 8 millimeters, but I don't. So I'm going to see if I can make this work. If not, you'll just have to picture it. I had 8 millimeter on this. See, this is how I hung it. I just put through that loop there,
Oh.
2 8mm. I don't have any down here. I don't think so. Oh, wait, what's this? Are they silver? Are they silver?
No, I think they're
Oh, baby. How did that happen? There's just a
don't
bunch
know.
of them thrown around. It's such a mess down here. Before I have this class, I have to do about 2 days worth of cleaning down here, because I'm telling you what. I don't spend a lot of time down here anymore. I prefer to work upstairs on my work desk in my office. I have a nice big office upstairs. It's kind of cool. My husband says it's my lair. It's kind of like the equivalent of a she shed, you know. And I have a big 6-foot table with all the drawers and that, you know, stuff on there. So I'm just going through these loops. I just got to get them lined up because they're not perfect, and I like perfect. I like them to just size right up. That's pretty good.
So pretty much you put 2 jump rings.
Yeah, I
and
like to
then
do
have
2. I like to do 2 because, you know,
just in case you lose the first one.
well, it's more for strength for me to do the 2. You know, because I'm using this like a bale, and I'm going to have something that has some weight hanging from the bottom. Not a lot of weight, but some. And I just don't want it to get stretched out, you know, or not support it properly. So I'm going to use 2. I could even use 3, and it wouldn't hurt anything. But this time it's 2. 2 is good enough. All right, so now I've got this chain 04038. We have lots of this at the site. If you like it, Figaro. It's golden Figaro chain. It's beautiful. I love it. We're going to have to take the inventory of this. So how much do I have? But I have about 4 foot of it. I don't need 4 foot. You need, I'm going to cut this off. This can't. You need, I would say, 20 inches of this stuff if you want to make one like mine. If you want it longer, then go for, you know, 30. So that'd be like 2.5 foot, something like that. So anyway, I'm just going to eyeball it. Or maybe I'll just do it by looking at this. Okay, that's good enough. I'm a very random person if you haven't figured that out yet. I hate to measure. I do sometimes, though. Sometimes measuring is absolutely critical. My mother-in-law, my sweet mother-in-law, passed away a few weeks ago. I miss her so bad already. But she taught me that certain things when you're cooking, you better measure it or you're going to have failure every time. Like baking a cake. You got to use the measurements. But on Wonky wrap, you don't. You eyeball it and you make it look like you want it to look. So now I've gone through that and you're good. No right, no wrong. Just so long as you make it strong. That's what you need. Like, you know, there were certain things that I did when I put this together that, you know, was stressing making it strong. It needs to look good. It needs to look even. It can look messy, but only just so messy. Sometimes there's too much messy, and you'll know when that is. You'll figure that out. Like this one is getting close to too much messy. In my opinion. This one is getting close to too much messy. But it's okay. Who says? Right? You know, but to my eye, I like something that's a little cleaner like this. Not that that's really clean. That's a tornado wrap. So, or something like this. I like how this came out too. That came out good. So anyway, I'm just putting on my lobster claw so I can hang it right now. And for that, I'm using a 6mm jump and about a 15mm lobster claw. With this, it's kind of a mid-weight Figaro. Whoops. I like my jumps to fit up really good. This is a place where I am precise and fussy. I don't like jumps that are put together messy. I like them to butt right up so that you can hardly see the seam. Sometimes it's easier than others, but I'm pretty close. Okay, so I've got that one. I just need to put one on the other end so that you can catch it around your neck. I think I'll use an 8 for that. It's easier to hook. 6mm sometimes is good and looks neat, but sometimes it's harder to hook. This might be a little too big though, actually. No, I'm gonna leave it like that. But you decide. You decide. Sometimes if you use too big of a jump on the back, it will kind of stick up funny too. So, but I don't think it will on this. I can always fix it later. I'm not going to sell this right away. Maybe never. Or for a while. Anyway, okay, that hooks together. So now all I have to do is I just have to figure out, you know, what I want to put on it. Or if you like it just the way it is and wear it like that as a pendant. You know, you could. You could. But, or just hang something in there. So I'm just going to show you a couple little things. I'm not going to put them all on like I did on this. But I did some funny little funky things with the wire to hang my stuff. Since it's an organic, wonky type, you know, look, I'm going to use about, I don't know, about 6 inches maybe, 5-6 inches of wire. Cut this off. Once you get good at this, you don't need to use as much, but I'm not at that point yet. So now, here on the end, I'm going to grab hold of it on the end again, but I'm not going to spiral it. I'm going to just coil it. So, I'm going to get under here and just coil it a little bit. Give me an end. And then I'm going to take this dowel out of my kit. It's the 1/4 inch dowel. And I'm going to kind of, sometimes it wants to slide. I would rather it didn't do that. I know what I'll do. I'll just bend this a little bit. Just bend this back in here a little bit. I'll lay flat. Okay. Once again, it's hard to do because it's the heavy gauge wire, but you know why I want to do it. Now, you know, really, when you get to this part, you could go down to 20. You wouldn't have to stay up as high. You could go down to 20. But anyways, now what I want to do is I want to wrap around this thing. Take it off. And now I'm going to pull down on this. Oops, wrong way. And then a little bit more. You have to adjust it. Now I'm going to pull this out. I would put a little bit more of a bend in here. Fun. You just monkey with this till you get it to look like you want it to. Until it looks right to you, then it's right. Like I would have probably twisted this up a little bit more. Or maybe just do this. Now you can hang something from that if you want or not. It's just up to you. And then at the top, what I'm going to do is I'm going to, and I don't have any of these on here, but, and also it might have been good to maybe make that even smaller, maybe wrap it around a pencil. But anyhow, now I'm just going to come up and I'm going to come around, make my loop, straighten that out a little bit, and come around another time. Now I need to flatten it to do that. Okay. Now, because this is so heavy, it really might have been better for this part to do 20 gauge. This is going to be kind of hard to really wrap it good. But you don't really have to. Just wrap it as far as you can, then cut it off real good. And you can always go back and crimp it shut, or you could go back and file it just a little bit with nail file. That works really good. I use a nail file more than I ever use a jeweler's file. Those big flat black ones that you get in the dollar store, they use them in a nail salon. See, I'm just crimping that end in there so you don't see it. I'm going to feel over there. I don't feel too much. I might file that a little bit later. Okay, so now I've got that on there. I just love springy, swirly type things like this. I'm going to turn this around like this. Okay, and I do have this kind of mangled a little bit because I pressed on it too much. But anyway, I could put this one in the middle here. Let's see. I'll see if I can do this with a 6mm. I don't know if I can. But you get the point. Now on these, on this one, you know, I've put beads on them before, but this one I've got all kinds of little swirly things going on. Let's see if you can see that. And then I put something in the middle too, but I wouldn't put this here. That won't work. It needs to be down here. So let's see. But you're kind of getting the gist of it. I don't think I really need to show you much more because the rest of it's up to you. Really, the whole thing is up to you. However you want to make it. This was basically just for the idea, because they're so random. You know, that's what I love about Wonky, because you can just do your own thing with them. So long as there's no rough edges poking out to poke people, or it's not bent out of kilter or too marred and mangled up. Now let's see, this is a little bit thick. See if I can get that. Yeah, here we go. Here we go, here we go. How about that? Okay. So now I've got that there. So now what could I do? Well, I could put one of my little stars in there, or a bone bead. I have a bunch of really cool itty bitty shell beads at our website, beasyboutiques.com now. I just got them yesterday. They are 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch, perfect for jewelry making. They'd be good to wrap with 28 gauge wire because they're so petite and delicate. Some of them are drill, but not all. They're more for assemblage, but you could wrap them and hang from this too. It's just all up to you, you know. And as you know, you put as many as fit and look right and aren't all jammed up on each other or hanging funky. This one hangs just right for me. I've got 4 on the bottom, which normally I'd have 5. See, 4 on the bottom. Normally I would have 5, but I hung one up here and it falls right down through the middle. So when you wear this, it's great. And I have short and I have long, and I also have spaced out my stars. Here's a star, here's a star, here's a star. Let me lay it down so you see. So there is some rhyme and reason to it. I got one, here's one, here's one, here's one. Instead of having them all globbed up in one spot. It gives them a little bit of space. So anyway, that's basically how you do it. So now that, you know, most of us are still kind of staying at home and doing our best to stay well, here's a really good project for you to do on a rainy afternoon, or when you're bored, or when you need to be inspired or do something new, because the main thing is stay well, and it seems to be that the key to doing that now is to stay at home. I haven't been out of this house in 5 weeks at least, maybe 6, and I'm fine. But that works for me because I don't go out that much anyway, because I work here. But stay busy, do something fun. Do something that provokes your creativity. That's why Wonky is so good. Wonky wire is so good because you start with it and you never know where you're going to end up. You work with it for a couple, 3 hours, and now you've got something fantastic. You've learned things, you've taught yourself, and it's great. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed my video today. Forgive me if I'm a little wonky myself in spots. And come join us at the Peasy Boutiques Creative Group, would you? I think you're going to love it. There are a lot of new friends there waiting to be creative with you. We make a lot of jewelry, and I think very soon we're going to branch out to doing a little bit more assemblage on like picture frames and on little boxes and stuff. So that'll be fun too, to do a little of that, because we really never did. So come on over and join us there, and if you'd like, join us for the workshop. The details are there on that page. Or you can contact me directly at Messenger, on Messenger, Facebook Messenger, to Brenda Sue Lansdowne, and I could talk to you about it. Or you can get the number, the 800 number, off of our website, www.beasyboutiques.com, and you can call here and we can tell you about it. But it starts next Friday. So it's coming right up. Have a great day, guys. Thanks for tuning in. You got anything to say, Javi?
No, that'd be it.
You know, no words of wisdom for them?
Wait. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
Oh, yes. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We need them now because we haven't been on here for a while. So anyway, okay, guys. Have a great weekend, and I hope maybe we'll see you in the workshop.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.